Hello guys, this is Pap from Pap back at it again, and today we are here for the new structure deck that we've got. I made my version, and this is gonna be, I think it's gonna be the first one. I mean, I'm gonna test it with my other fusion decks that, if you follow this channel, already know since a long time. Of course, I'm talking about Dark Cavalry, Neos Cavalry, and so many other fusion decks that can benefit from this recent support that we've got for the 1000 Eyes Restrict, actually Millennium Eyes Restrict. But to begin with, of course, I wanted to show you my version with the new skill of Pegasus that I actually forgot to mention about during the review that we've got of the structure in the previous video. But before jumping right into it, guys, just a quick reminder: if you enjoy the content, please leave a like and subscribe. I really appreciate it and really helps me a lot. Let's jump right into it. So I'm here, of course, with the Pegasus, and let's have a quick look at the skill. So what does it say? So let's see. If you control 1000 Eyes Idle, you can use one of the following effects once per turn. So return one card from your hand to the deck and set one Black Illusion Ritual or one Polymerization to the field from the deck. So you can only add one Polymerization during the duel and one Black Illusion Ritual. So this means that if you actually use twice this effect and you had it once the Polymerization and the other time you had the Black Illusion Ritual, this effect of the skill won't be playable anymore. Then you can add the one Relinquished to your hand from the deck. So this basically means that this skill sets you ready for two summons, actually the one you choose. You can either ritual summon your Relinquished, or you can summon the Millennium Eyes Restrict fusion summon, of course. The second effect instead can be activated as many times as the number of big rebucks that are in your extra deck, because it says return one monster from your hand or field to the deck and then play one big rebucks from the extra deck. Simply, straight, nothing special for big rebus, as you can see right here, just a 2300 beater. And this skill can be used if you begin the duel with a deck, excluding the extra deck, that contains no monsters other than a total of at least 10 level 1 spellcaster type monsters or monsters that have relinquished in their text. So we can take advantage from the skill with a couple of cards. So I don't know why no one thought about this, but to begin with, of course, we have to use a couple of Relinquished, and you can notice that even if I do not play the Ritual spell card, I actually played a couple of Relinquished, and I was planning actually to increase it to 3, to be honest, because basically, if you do not have access to Relinquished, the deck does not work, because the Relinquished is the main focus. So we need him to either summon the Millennium Eyes Restrict or the 1000 Eyes Restrict. So that's why we want him in our starting hand, or actually in our hand in general, right? Then we have the triple UR from the structure deck, the Millennium Eyes Illusionist. So cool. It is basically another interruption for your opponent, and it is so good because it is not destruction, it is not banishing, it's not sending to the graveyard. Basically your opponent loses access to that monsters on the field as long as it is an effect monster. That's pretty cool because this is non-predictable if you're careful enough to play with your toggle on, toggle off, as I already said in the review. Then going on with the classic stuff, we have triple Golden Eyes Idol, another SR from the structure deck. This is the guy that counts as a 1000 Eyes Idol, as long as you manage to activate a fact that can be activated even during your opponent's turn. So this means you can actually check what your opponents drew in that turn, if you actually keep it on the field, because once you activate this effect, this card's name becomes 1000 Eyes Idol, and you can activate the skill and go on with your stuff. Also, if it is your second turn, if it is a turn 2, you can actually, if you use this to fusion summon, you can use its effect to equip one monster without waiting for the effect of Millennium Eyes Restrict. So keep in mind that if you go for this guy, you do not have only the effect of this guy to basically suck up a monster, but if you have this in your hand, you have basically 2 interruption, 2 monsters to steal. That's pretty cool. That's very good, honestly. Then we have the Relinquished Fusion, another card for the Structure deck, pretty cool. Quick play spell. The fact it is so good because it can banish materials even from your hand, so you can just have your Relinquished in your hand and another effect monster, and you can set this and you're good to go. You do not need to have them in your graveyard or in your field, so that's why it is good. And for the turn 2 play, it has another effect. You can banish this from your graveyard during the turn you used it, so because you can use both the effects in the same turn, that's even crazier. And you can suck up a monster without waiting for the Millennium Ice Restrict effect to pop up. Then we have the Poly to search for, and here comes the Spice. Now, we have a couple of Wonder Wand, just because we play so many Spellcaster type monster just to draw 2, and because having the stuff in the graveyard is not an issue, not only because of the effect of Relinquished Fusion that can banish the required materials from the graveyard, but also because we added Necrofusion. So we're basically playing 3 Pot of Greed, as you can see right there, but this is a little bit better just because you do not have to wait, because the Wonder Wand can be stopped from a Mystical Space Typhoon, while this instead can't be stopped because it's just a normal spell card. So 3 Pot of Greed and a couple of Necrofusion that are just an insane card as always. You know guys, I love this and I always manage to put it in every fusion deck because it is just too good not to use it. And this is actually the card that makes this deck not forced to rely on these 0 attack monster, because now we can just summon Quintet Magician. I mean, we have of course the Bakery Box, we have the Princess Sprite that is just 2 level 1 monster, pretty good card, definitely mandatory to play at least 1, and we have the Briton Forcer as well as a generic popper that can be easily summoned with 2 monsters, and you can discard a card and pop a card your opponent controls, pretty cool, but this is just something else. So with the Quintet Magician, of course with the play of Necrofusion, you can just pop every card your opponent controls during his turn, during its end phase, and just leave it with an open field. So of course the Quintet Magician can be summoned even without playing these 2 guys that we're gonna talk about in a minute, because of course this needs 5 Spellcaster type monsters, so you can summon this guy even if you have multiple copies of the same Spellcaster, but if you use 5 different Spellcaster, that can be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 or 6. So these are not even needed, you know, to meet the requirements of the clearing a field effect, and also these can be destroyed by card effects. 4500, who said this deck cannot win without actually has only monsters of 0 attack. Look at this, how cool it is, too good. Also keep in mind you can even you can use even this other one, of course, so we have plenty. Of course with the Ikari and the Mystic Piper you can meet the condition, the 5 different spellcaster faster, that's the thing, of course. And to be honest, Mystic Piper I only have 1 copy, but this works pretty good. Basically only in 2 ways. If you manage to draw this and you already have your Relinquished in your hand, or if you manage to draw the Ikari, but the point is that the Mystic Piper makes the Ikari lose the timing, unless it is the last card. What I mean is, Mystic Piper said if you tribute it, you draw 1 card and reveal it, and if it is a level 1, you draw another card. Now, if the card you reveal is the Ikari misses the timing. But if Ikari is the last card, I mean the second card that you draw, then you can activate its effect. So keep in mind that. And to be honest, I actually feel like if we maximize the Wonder Wand, and so you know, to have more cards to draw, we can even play 3 Ikari and 9000 Highs Idol. And the thing is pretty easy, because with the Ikari, if you manage to use their effect, you can summon any level 1 monster from your deck. Of course you're gonna go for with the Golden Eyes Idol, and then you can activate its effect and the skill. So with this actually you have a build that can does not only rely on the effect of Millennium Eyes Restrict and Thousand Eyes Restrict to suck up monsters, but you also have this insane weapon. But so just to be totally honest with you, this is the build that I made most wins that you're gonna see in the replays with. But in the last 2 replays, or in the last one, you're gonna see me playing more Ikari, and this is why I was actually playing this version that I'm gonna let you see, of course. This is, I called it a Thousand Fairy. I completely removed the Thousand Eyes Idol normal monster to play 3 Ikari and to play 3 Wonder One, so that I have maximized chance of drawing this and summon any level 1 spellcaster. Of course, keep in mind that with Ikari, it does not only provide material from your Quintet Magician, but also for multiple summons of your Eyes Restrict that are actually a thing because of Necrofusion and not only for the Relinquished Fusion. Last thing that I would suggest, maybe not playing 2 of these. You're never gonna summon a couple of Thousand Eyes Restrict, but just maybe it's better to play like this, triple Eyes Restrict. So this will be actually, I think, one of the most optimized version. I've not tested out enough yet, but I will, and just want to share this with you. And the only issue that I actually faced with this is that if I happen to draw my polymerization, I am in trouble, because if I draw my polymerization, I can activate the skill when I have the Thousand Eyes Idol on the field, and I cannot add the Relinquished. The problem is always that if we do not have access to Relinquished, the deck does not work. So take into account, actually fill the deck, and if you're actually struggling with breaking, just add 1 more copy of Relinquished. That's the best thing, and maybe we can even take out this to do it like this. In my opinion, that could be even better, honestly, to make sure to have this. But of course, the Fortune Fairy card with Mystic Piper is a good addition, because you can just, if you have all the stuff that you need, you can just go with Fortune Fairy as a fact, summon the Mystic Piper, and draw some more cards. That's of course the thought about behind all of this deck list. Guys, I'm sorry if it took too long, but I wanted to be crystal clear with you to make you understand what is the thought, the reasoning behind this deck list. I hope you enjoyed it, and this combo is just so good, guys. You're gonna see in the replays a couple of times. Don't miss the replays, and let's jump right into them. Here we go, my boys. First, a replay against Shark. Let's see what we have. So it's pretty good hand, because we already have Relinquished, and it's a very good thing. So we're not forced to use the skill to have it. So we have a Beast Dweller to begin with, classic start, and he has the infantry among the materials. So we have to be careful, because he can pop it. He can pop a monster on my field. So let's see what we have. We have everything we need. I just began at this point with Mystic Piper, because we have the fusion, we have an effect monster, we have the Relinquished. There's nothing we need more. So Mystic Piper to begin with. I draw another Relinquished, and then the Ikari. Now, as I told you, because Ikari was the second card that I drew with my Mystic Piper, its effect activates. But as I told you guys, again, if I had to draw the Ikari before and then the Relinquished, Ikari's effect wouldn't have been applicable. Keep in mind that. So Ikari's effect, I can send her to the graveyard to summon the Thousand Eyes Idol. Here's the skill, grab a polymerization. I return the Relinquished so I can add it back. So I'm chilling at this point. Polymerization into Thousand Eyes Restrict, because I had the normal guy, and actually because I can do the other stuff. So now this is actually pretty good interaction. So he started to use the effect not to stop my graveyard, but because he wanted to use the infantry's effect. But the issue right here is that he has to activate his effect, and infantry activates in another chain. So what I did is I chained the Relinquished Fusion to the Beast Dweller's effect, so that when this chain starts with infantry, I will be able to chain my Millennium Eyes Restricted effect. Keep in mind that you have to be careful when you play this deck. So there you go, Millennium Eyes Restrict is here. So now new chain, infantry's effect, we can chain the Millennium Eyes Restrict, and at this point the effect is negated and it can't do nothing. We can use the effect of 1000 Eyes to steal the to steal the Abyss Dweller, and we're good to go. Then I went with the Sprite because I wanted to mill even more, to be honest, but also because keep in mind that when you have this guy, no more, actually the other monsters can't attack. Not your opponent's one, but neither yours. So there you go, Princess Sprite to draw an extra card, but unfortunately it was that guy. That actually is not a bad thing because now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 monsters, all actually 6, all different, and we have our Necrofusion ready. So look at this play, of course. He's got the infantry, toggle on, another summon as soon as the other monster touches the field, Necrofusion, punishing 5 different spellcaster, and guess who's coming? Quintet Magician, pretty easy, nice and spice. That's how you do it, my boys. There you go. Second duel, my boys, yummy Yugi. Let's see what we have. It's us to go. Ikari in our hand, not a good thing, but we can always make it come back. So we've, of course, checked this end and then made the Ikari come back. Added the Relinquished. At this point, nothing more than a polymerization going into Millennium Restrict to be able to negate Fastest effect. And then you can now feel the importance of having a Necrofusion, not only to have access to Quintet Magician, but just because you can have another Millennium Restrict even if you do not have access to Relinquished Fusion. So it's got the King of Swamp to begin with. This was a mirror match. So Millennium Restrict, I can, negate that just with no worries, because I know that I have another one, Necrofusion, Banishing Materials. There you go, second Millennium Restrict, and there's nothing I need to be afraid of. Now at this point I can just start attacking. I have even another interruption plus these 2 ones, so I'm really in a good shape right now. And he's got the power of the Guardians, so just to solve the issue of the low attack. And at this point he's got I had to at this point use the skill to make it to steal that and not let him be able to go for the power of the Guardians. Then I just started attacking. I have the Relinquished Fusion, but not the material. Actually I had the material to do something, but I decided just not. So he's got the Typhoon, not an issue right there. Then a Relinquished Fusion from his side to go with Ice Restrict, so the Typhoon just to have the material in the graveyard, the King of the Swamp, in order to be able to go into Millennium Ice Restrict. So he's using its effect, but at this point, actually I used my Illusionist on purpose because this guy was summoned and he fell into the trap to use its effect. I could chain mine at this point, but what happens is that if you negate Ice Restrict's effect, they both go to the graveyard. So that was kinda nice as an interruption. And then we have the Millennium Eyes back to hand, Golden Eyes Idol once again at this point, 1000 Eyes Illusion, but just to summon a big Rebucks, and then level 1 Xyz summon Sylvian Princess Sprite just to have lethal. So I also had the Pearl Book of Knowledge, he just scooped, but that's how you did, my boys, in the mirror match. There you go. Third duel, my boys, against Odeon. Let's see what we have. It's the Ikari already in our hand, but there's not that much of a trouble just because we can go with the Ikari, wander one, draw a couple of cards, and actually we have all we need because we can go with the Relinquished Fusion. The Necrofusion is actually useless right now, so he went with Child's Play. What was that? Arrow Mage. So he just started attacking, that's fine, we don't care. Now we have the Thousand Eyes Idol, he gets the effect of Rosemary, that's fine. And now we can just go with the skills effect to grab the polymerization, of course, into the Thousand Eyes Restrict to suck up the Rosemary even without waiting for an effect activated. And then there you go, no Rosemary anymore, and we can just start attacking. And let's see what he has. He has Jaws and Spell Trap, and he's got another Child's Play, maybe not the one he was looking for, Temple of the Kings, and then wait, what? That was unexpected. Hammond, Lord of the Striking Thunder, actually comes on the field, but there's no issue for that. Just Relinquished Fusion it out with Millennium Eyes Restrict, using the Millennium Eyes Illusionist to suck up that, and we have the 4K. Now here I made the mistake because I forgot that we can't attack with other monsters if we have the Thousand Eyes Restrict. So I attacked with that, and then I couldn't attack with my Millennium Eyes Restrict, so that was quite an issue. He's got the dead in attack position, but he can't attack as well. I think he just wanted to suicide right there, but Okay, and then Sylvian Princess Sprite at this point to be able to attack with multiple monsters. That was the plan, of course. And then Idol once again to you know, to see which card he has in his hand, but there was nothing to do for him. That's how you do it, my boys. There you go. For Duel, I think, my boys, let's see what we have. It's Declan with pendulums, and it's us to go first. We have a pretty good hand, so we can just start with Golden Eyes Idol, and he was a Stellar Knight, so it was not the triple Ds. So here goes the skill. I made the Wonder Woman come back to deck because we can just have the Resurrect, and actually Millennium Eyes Resurrect is a very good counter for Stellar Knights because we can just avoid him being able to activate the trap by stealing the monster, and that's pretty cool. So he's got the Pendulum version, pretty nice to see, to be honest. I didn't see it in a while. So he's got the DNAP to begin with. I chained the Restrict. I knew he had a Sky Bridge, but at this point he summoned the Vega, and that's still fine because now he can have the Zephyr Thuban, still correct. You can use the effect of Vega to summon it, and then he's got the XC summon, but as soon as he attacks, I can just use the Illusionist from my hand to steal it. Pretty cool, and I even had the Relinquished Fusion, so even another negation, so really no chance for him. There you go. Fifth duel, my boys, again is the Kiza. I don't know if I'm counting it correctly, but anyway, we have a Kiza, Spell of Roses, so we have Black Rose Dragon stuff. So let's see what we have. We have Rox Rose Dragon to begin with, of course with the White Rose, and he's got adding of course the skill, pretty nice. Turn 1 with the Yazi Evil of the Youngzing and a couple of back rows. I just began with the Golden Eyes Idol, and he is an interesting interruption. As soon as you summon, you can activate the Warning Point, but this is a quick effect, so I can chain it and still get my name changed. So I can use the skill, as you can see right there, returning the Golden Eyes Idol, have a polymerization ready, had the second Relinquished, then polymerization into Millennium Eyes Restrict. Then it's got the Buzzer Will Shoot, and that was pretty nice because he activates the effect and just steal it and negate the effect. That was it. You know, this is a case when your opponent does not know how to play against a certain monster, and you know, you can get advantage from this. He's got the effect of the Yazi to pop the Necrofusion and to pop itself. So we have two good things right here because he actually let us get rid of this without even caring too much, and then with the Necrofusion and Golden Eyes Idol we can still see his end and then summon a second Millennium Eyes Restrict, so this means double negation. Now the effect from the graveyard can be negated because when it's in the graveyard it is no more untargetable, so we can just steal it, get a little nice boost right there, and ready to go. We have another negation, so he just started attacking. That's completely fine because we have the other one. Then Thousand Eyes Idol once again, we use the skill to summon a big Reebox and then double level 1 into Sylvian Princess Sprite. So at this point we can just go all in. Let's see if we draw something better. Nothing, but at this point there's nothing to do. It's got the effect of Rox Rose Dragon to recycle it into the hand, but that of course is not enough to endure these guys squad. That's how you do it, my boys. There you go. And here, guys, we have, this is the first, and then we have another one, the last two duels with the version of the 3 Ikaris. Just to show you how it works, we have a pretty nice Battle Wasp deck to face to begin with, so triple monsters. So he makes sure that he has something to negate the effect with Sting the Poison. That's fine. We have the, actually we're forced right now to use the Wonder Wand because, I mean, not first, but we have, it's actually the best thing because even if we send it to the graveyard, we can banish it with Relinquished Fusion, so we are in a very good spot. But actually with this, we're gonna get a couple of cards more. Ikari was drawn, then I changed the Relinquished Fusion, as you can see right there, so I just went with the Millennium Eyes Restrict, then the special summon right there, Ikari, to go with the Golden Eyes Idol, and he's got the Sting the Poison to negate, but I can just chain the Millennium Eyes Restrict, so actually no negation for you, my boy. And then we can just use the skill to go on. At this point there's really nothing more that he can do. Polymerization into Millennium Eyes Restrict, and the Golden Eyes Idol is effective to steal the butterfly. At this point, there's nothing you can do. As you can see, the interaction with T-Carry is just too good. That's how you do it, my boys. There you go. Last but not least, my boys, this is the last one with the triple Ikari into the deck. As you can see right there, one is already in my hands, so I just normal summon her. At this point, this was actually a forced play because we have nothing to go on with. So there you go, double draw. Let's see what we get, and we were lucky. Another Ikari. So Ikari this time to use the effect and summon the idol. So it's pretty cool. It's like a searcher. So idol to see the cards. We know that it is a Blue Eyes player, and then I make the Mystic Piper come back to deck to set the poly, and at the Relinquished polymerization, there you go, into Millennium Eyes Restrict. So at this point we have the Necrofusion, we're chilling, we have the Sage with the Eyes of Blue, and then Millennium Eyes Restrict, as you can see, to just with the Sage, to suck up the Sage, but it's got another stuff right there. It's got the Blue Eyes Eternal White Dragon, but I can just use, sorry to be too quick, I can just use the effect to suck up the Blue Eyes Eternal White Dragon with the effect of Blue Eyes, with the effect of Millennium Eyes Illusionist. And to hand this in the end phase, 5 monster. And there you go, Quintet Magician. I had no actually, there were 2 Ikari, that's fine. I just wanted something to hand the duel, as you can see right there. Yes, and nothing right there. So right there, that's the set card. That's how you, this was just the cards of consonants that we saw before. So that's how you do it, my boys. There you go. So guys, I hope you enjoyed my my idea, my deck list, my version of the Millennium Eyes Restrict stuff. And I'm actually gonna enjoy this. I was pretty happy, you know. I immediately bought it as soon as it came out, and I knew there was something really nice to play with. I hope you enjoyed this version. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Thanks a lot for watching, and as always, see you in the next one.